Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, before we start, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Nurbahiyah, and for today, our group will be presenting a topic which is the role of family in Islam. So, as we know, a family is a social group that is bound together by adoption, marriage, or blood. Moreover, family is also the smallest institution in society where a person grows up and receives education from their parents so that they can live their life in society. Basically, there are three main members of a family, like all of us know, which is they are the husband, wife, and also kids. As you know, in Islam, the family is an important part of the Islamic society, and it is in the family that one learns about Islam from a young age. Moreover, Islam also defines a family as a home that's created by a marriage between a man or woman that's performed in accordance with Islamic religious law and satisfies the established pillars of matrimony. To build an Islam sakinah, mawaddah, and warahmah, it must begin with marriage. As you can see in my slide, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said in Surah Ar-Rum, verse 21, which means, "And one of His signs is that He created for you spouses from among yourself, so that you may find comfort in them. And He has placed between you compassion and mercy. Surely, in these are signs for people who reflect." Other than that, we know that every Muslim have a dream, which is they want to have harmonious family which follows the teaching of Islam. So there are several ways to achieve this, which is family sakinah, mawaddah, and warahmah, which means it is a family with full of affection, love, and also peace. Is founded on Islamic values and will begin with a marriage that seeks only Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala pleasure. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the characteristic of family in Islam. Firstly, which is to build based on devotion to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. It is easy to say that we as His servants, we are aware that we need to follow His rules and avoid what Allah prohibited based on the Quran. Other than that, in other words, a truly happy family in Islam is a family full of obedience to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. This is because if we get Allah's pleasure, then Allah will bless our family. Therefore, we need to obey all Allah's commands, because the key to our happiness and that of our beloved family is our obedience to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Secondly, we have performed their respective roles and responsibilities. As you can see that each family members, especially the parents, they will have their own responsibilities to teach their child about Islam and train them at a young age. However, if they didn't educate their children about Islam, then their children will not be able to know how important Islam is in life. Therefore, they need to educate their children about Islam so that the children will continue to be inculcated of the Islam in them from generation to generation. Other than that, you are also need to always express yourself positively. It is because if we express ourselves negatively, then how you wanna get happy family in Islam? So we need to always spread yourself positively so that we can see that Islam focus on a family full of positivity. Plus, Islam taught us to always being positive and not being negative. And last but not least is always support each other. This is because it is one of the ways to maintain friendly relations among families. Family values a harmonious relationship without any chaos. So if we keep selfishness and envy towards each other, then there will be conflict and it should be avoided. Islam also teaches to always support each other no matter who people is it. So, the key to maintain our relationship between our family is good. So, we need to always support each other.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Eishanaz binti Shareel, and I'll be talking about the role of husband in Islam. In an Islamic household, the husband has a number of roles or responsibilities that must be fulfilled in accordance with the law. In the Quran, men are referred to as the Qawamun, or the guardians and upholders of women. This is because Allah charged men with the duty of maintenance. Firstly, the husband needs to take care of his wife. A man needs to learn about his wife's actions and preferences in order to do this. His life must be planned around her with good intentions and desires. Next, the husband needs to provide for his wife financially. This means that the husband should work hard to earn a living and provide his family with the basic necessities of life such as food, clothing, and shelter. Lastly, the husband needs to appease his wife and sympathize with his wife. As a male, a woman experiences emotional changes as well, so it is important for men to console them.
Assalamualaikum, I am Aisya Aleeya and I will be explaining about a wife role in family. At first, a wife need to be obedient to husbands in any methods that doesn't against Allah rules. This is because we cannot go against or we cannot refuse what husband said. If we refuse, we will be committed as a big sins. Unless if the rules is against Sharia, we have an authority to say no. Next is keeping the family situation as a secret from others. As a wife, we don't want other people to know about our secret or our problem. It's just a shame. Like it will ruin our image as a family. It's not about like it included in social media such as Facebook or Instagram. We cannot expose them. We cannot expose our family to others. We need to keep the secret in just us, just inside the family. If it's end there, just end there. Do not spread our problems and secrets to others. And the third one is manage the home affairs as well as the husband estate. This is like when we managing the house affairs, we also need to manage our husband estate, because our husband put faith in us in keeping their estate as like keeping their estate in a safe place. Like they trust us to keep the estate. And lastly, assist the husband with child education. So we cannot like expect the husband need to do everything, need to pantau the children on everything they do. We need to help them. Like when we know that husband is a like leader in the family, but we also is like helper to them. So we as a wife need to spectate them in a good way, such as when the husband is going to work, or when the husband is busy, or when the husband need to take care of something. We need also to teach the children about Islam, about teaching them about Al-Quran, about Salat, cover their aura properly, and then teach them this Rasulullah SAW sunnah as a daily life, so that they can adapt them in a future, so they can be soleh and solehah children. So that's all for me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Puteri. So I'll be explaining the roles of a child in Islam. Okay, so first of all, according to Islamic teachings, to be obedient and to show kindness to parents has been enjoined in the Quran in such manner as to say that among the noble deeds, To obey parents and to treat them respectfully and to show kindness to them is next to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Holy Quran says and stated, "Your Lord has ordained you to worship none but Him, and that you be kind to your parents." Also, according to Prophet Muhammad, the parents of a certain person are his heaven or hell. What this means is, if a person obeys their parents and attends to their need, keep their parents happy and comfortable, he will attain paradise. He will attain heaven. But on the other hand, if it's the totally opposite, if that person is disrespectful and rude to them and offends their parents by ignoring their feelings and needs, or causes them to be sad, angry, or grief, his place shall be in hell. So in modern times, especially with the youngsters, it has been a trend that has been a rise in many ways, in which the youngsters saw their parents as a liability, as something that could hold them back. What I mean is that, as we can see, there's a lot of trend, there's a lot of children who send their parents to an old folks home, an old age home, in which they stated that they're too lazy or they could not actually keep track of their parents, they could not actually take care of their parents because they seen their parents as such a burden, especially at an old age where parents are actually needed to be looked after by their child, as they are at their most fragile state and at their old age. So in short, to also please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a person should also fulfill their role as a child by taking care of their parents, by keeping their parents happy, by also obeying their parents and not neglect them. So that's it for my point. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Puteri Widad Mardhiah. So now I will be explaining the role of parents in Islam. So first of all, parents should teach their children the rules and pillars of Islam so that their children is well known and knowledgeable about their own religion since they were young. Second of all, parents should provide essential needs to their children as shelter, food, clothes, basic needs, so the children feel enough or self-actualization when they are provided essential needs. Last but not least, parents should educate their children about Islam by sending their kids to school to learn more, provide educational needs, sending their kids to school. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hanisha binti Mohd Thushan, and today I will be explaining about why the role of family is important in Islam. So to start off with the first point, which is parenting as the family system. So when a couple gets married, to complete their family, majority of people tend to have children. So once they have children, as a Muslim, they have to bring up their children in an Islamic way. Therefore, the father is usually not playing such a big role as the mother in a child's life. The father will be busy with work, in financials and outside stuff to sustain the family sustainability. But that doesn't mean that the father does not have any responsibility or any part in playing the upbringing of the child. So what the father can do is, for example, when the father comes back from work, maybe he can encourage the children and wife to pray together, and that is also part of an upbringing in the child's life. As for the mother is the one who is playing a slightly bigger role, because the mother is going to be more at home and having to spend more time with the child. So the mother can teach the child how to recite dua, how to pray, how to take wudu, just basic stuff that will improve the upbringing of the child, and this actually will result of the child being a good Muslim in the future. For the next point is fulfilling complete right of the family members. So in a family, every member have to play their roles accordingly. So in a family, there is the father, the mother, and the child. So the father is the one who will be responsible for the family's living and be the one who has to ensure the sustainability of the family in order for the family to have a good living, to live a good life, to have food, to have a home, and so on. The wife and also the mother, the role is, as a wife, the wife has to respect her husband and fulfill her husband's needs, as long as the needs are not harming the family or the wife in any way. As for a mother, her responsibility is to bring up her child in a good way, to be there for her child, to take care of the child basically. And as the child should be willing to learn to respect the parents and try to adapt to learning Islam. Like, if just say the child was taught on how to take wudu to perform the prayers, the child should try to implement that into the daily basis, which is also with the guidance from the parents. So each role of the family members does play its own category. So if some of them are not playing their roles, it might cause difficulty in a household. Lastly is family is always there for each other. So in life, everyone meets other people that are not their family, like strangers, friends, people who are not their family members. So these people that they meet might not always be there for them in their life, maybe when they're feeling down or maybe when they're in need, but that is the gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is our family. Our family is always there for us. Our mother's prayers is the most powerful thing for us. So that is one of the most important things about family, that knowing that the bond and the strength that is being created is going to last for a really long time if it's being taken care of. So as I mentioned earlier, if every member of the family actually plays their role properly, then they would actually be able to achieve a happy family that will always be there for each other. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to our respective lecturer, Madam Asla. My name is Siti Khomairoh, and I will be explaining about what are the effects if we do not take responsibility of the roles and commit to it. So basically, there are a lot of effects of if we did not take responsibility of the roles and commit to it. Most of it are bad effects, including it will lead each member in the family to bad morality, which is, as an example, the children who was not really get exposing and get a lesson from their mother or father about morality and about what should they do, what should they wear in Islam according to Al-Quran. It will lead them to the bad morality, such as like they be friend with the wrong people and wearing revealing clothes like did not cover their aura. And for the second, family life is guaranteed to be restless. This means, as an example, if a father, which is a man, did not really doing his role as a father to his son, his daughter, and also did not doing his role as a husband to his wife, he will never get really happy or harmony in his life and always lacking of something that he did not doing his role as a father according to what Allah said in Al-Quran and Hadith. So furthermore, children will get less affection and attention from their parents. This means the children will always feel like what that he did not get as a children, like always lacking of something, like the parents did not really care about them, and it will lead them to doing bad things as always and become a bad people in the future. Okay, last but not least, it will lead them, the family, to having feelings of jealousy arise and feel inadequate towards other harmonious families, which is like even also a mother and the children will always feel like jealousy towards their maybe friends or other people, neighborhoods or something that get like really harmonious and friendly families, like they're really taking care of each other, doing their good role as a family in Islam, and they will only watch them and always feel like why are they lacking of something, why are their own family not happy like other family, and this will be the starting of people will start to comparing themselves or their family to other families and other people, which is really bad. Also, as an addition, there are one of the verse of Rasulullah SAW last Hajj Qurba, which is said, everyone has a responsibility to do it, as well as in order to give birth to an excellent family, understand each other, and help each other tightly. Do not take advantage of this sacred marriage born for personal gain, which is this has the meaning of it's really important to every family members to doing their role and take responsibility to doing their own role as a part of family according to Islam. For the last part, as a conclusion, family is a unit of society. It will be good if the basics of its formation is based on authentic belief. With this, it can be said that belief is an important pillar in human life. Even family life is so important to bond with each other. Moreover, in family life, these feelings can be applied in family life, then the developed family will achieve peace and be born with a feeling of peace, harmony, and happiness as always. Therefore, it is very important for each family member to carry out their respective responsibilities to form a harmonious and happy family according to Islamic law. Thank you. That's all from us.